All right, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us for our third installment of our Google Hangout. I'm Emily, and today I'm joined by Karen, a fellow Housing Committee member, and she's representing Long Island City, so that's what we'll be talking about today. So we want to just start by having you give us a brief summary of your experience apartment hunting in your neighborhood.
Okay, so what I did was I have two other roommates and we all went online to look for apartments. We used Street Easy, Naked Apartments. I think we used Craigslist too and kind of sifted through that. And so how we came upon our apartment was through a broker. I feel like a lot of apartments here in New York, to get to certain apartments, you need a broker. It's definitely doable without one, but for ours specifically, we used a broker and then that's how we found ours.
Okay, great. Knowing what you know now, would you have gone about it in a different way or the same?
I feel like it would be the same. It's kind of, I actually don't mind using the broker. They can sometimes send you listings that aren't accessible if you didn't have one. It's definitely more expensive, or I guess you have to pay the fee, but as long as you find one where I feel like it's reasonable. So usually a lot of reasonable rates would be like 1 month's rent would be a broker fee, or up to 15% is reasonable, but anything above that is, to me, that's a little too much. I tried looking for apartments without a broker fee. They tend to be a little more difficult to find. I know a lot of friends of mine found it through, like, if you're just walking along the street and you see a sign that says like, oh, like there's apartments usually that have like a website and you can go to that. But even though some of those go through brokers as well. So I'd probably keep it the same way. If you have a lot more time, since you guys are first years, usually you find it in a weekend if you live far away. If you have more time, it's easier to try and scope or like look through and find places without potentially needing a broker. But for people that live far away or not from New York, a broker is really useful in finding places you want.
Good, it's good to know. So how do you get to school and how long does it take you?
So I get to school via the subway. I take the 7 train, and from where I live 1 minute away from the Queensboro Plaza stop. So that's really cool because the 7 train, it takes, on a really good day, it takes like 12 to 15 minutes. If there's delays, it'll probably take like upward to maybe like 30 minutes at most. But also, if those trains aren't working, I have the N and the Q at my stop. And then at 5 to 10 minute walk away, I also have the M train and the F train. So one of those as well.
Okay. Our fourth question is, what do you pay for rent, and is it pretty average for your neighborhood?
I currently I live in a 2-bedroom flex 3. Our total rent is $2,950, and I pay currently $900, which is a pretty good deal for my place. I wouldn't say that's average on the normal. Looking around at prices right now, the average for a 1-bedroom is around $1,100 on average, $1,100 to $1,200. The lowest probably maybe $1,000, but yeah, usually around $1,100.
Okay. And what do you like and not like about the neighborhood you live in?
The neighborhood I currently live in, I live right next to the Queensboro Plaza stop. The one thing I don't like about it is the grocery stores. There's not really one that's really close by. You have to either take a subway to the next stop over, which isn't that long at all. It's like a 5-minute subway ride from my place. And if you like seamless, and you guys will probably find out about that soon, where like if it's really cold outside and you don't want to do anything and cook food, they'll like deliver you food.
Right.
And so there's not many seamless options, or very many good ones. And so there's like a few good ones, but there's not as many. But those are the two big things that bother me about where I currently live right now. One of the things that I really like about Long Island City is there's, I don't know what it's called. There's like a park in, like if you go further into Long Island City, which is really beautiful, and you can see the skyline of New York from that park. And so I like to, during the summers, last summer, I would go there and run. So that was really pretty. There's a lot of good restaurants, a couple stops into Long Island City as well, which are really, really good. And I feel like Long Island City is like up and coming and developing with new restaurants and like apartments. So it's like in time, I feel like there'll be more growth, like grocery stores will pop up. But I think for you guys, like if you're thinking of like living somewhere that's like not too close to the city, but like a little bit further away, it's cheaper rent, and new stuff is popping up every day, I feel like. So I like it.
Awesome. Do we have any emails? All right. So it sounds like you guys don't have any questions. If you do think of something after the fact, go ahead and send us an email at sunyohousing@gmail.com. We're here to answer your questions pretty much around the clock. So just send those to us and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We really appreciate you joining us, coming out, spending your weekend here with us. So have a good rest of your weekend and we'll see you at the next Hangout. Bye.
Bye.